Please do, because this is about you guys and your horse. This isn't about me and doing anything. So I want the conversation. Because when I hear your questions, then I kind of take notes of those, and I'm like, well, okay, that's great. And can I answer that? Not for you, but can I teach more about that? I mean, I want to know what the questions are, because I'm so far down this freaking rabbit hole. I don't know what the questions are like at a different place, because I can get so in my world that I don't. So please, 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 please.
So what did you do before you started doing this?
I was a IT contractor, information and technology. So I installed fiber, coax, high-speed internet, wireless links, communications for hotels, apartments, condos, student housing, stuff like that. Geeky IT stuff that I was good at, but I just didn't enjoy it.
If it gave you the ability to buy this,
It didn't, but it kept me alive till I could have a complete middle-aged breakdown at 40. I just totally lost my entire world at 40, and then that's how I found the horses, was after I'd scrubbed my entire life clean and started over. So yeah, that's what I did 10 years ago, and then this has just been a 10-year journey of what I'm doing. Okay. So we're going to review Taz. So what you're going to see me do is I'm just going to go apply some pressure. So horses learn pressure, release, and that's kind of where our traditional natural horsemanship kind of ends, pressure and release. What science is adding in is allowing the horse to seek mental relief. So I'm going to apply pressure, and when Taz does what I want, whatever's the earliest sign, so I'm going to say, hey Taz, right, my mind is saying, Taz, I want you to go down there and check out that scary stuff. So when I go apply pressure and Taz starts towards that stuff, I release. Because I'm telling Taz, hey, you did the thing. Your mind's headed where I want your body to go. Keep your mind over, so I'm going to keep applying pressure and release. And when he gets close enough down here, then I'm going to let him have some mental relief time, meaning I'm just going to step back, and as long as he'll stay engaged and curious, right, I'm building curiosity. So I don't want to sit and hammer him and say, get across the dang tarp, Taz, come on, Taz, get over there, come on, Taz, get over there. Because then I'm just going to take caution and just ramp it to the top. Curiosity is not up there. Curiosity is way down here in his brain chemistry. So we want to build curiosity so that he can get confident. And then the more confident he is, the less he looks into caution for answers, and the more he looks into confidence for answers. And the only question that Taz has is, am I safe? Period. One question, 1,000,000 times a day, am I safe? So as long as I can keep answering that, saying, yes, you are, yes, you are, yes, you are, I can talk him into doing damn near anything over enough time of building his confidence. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and say, hey, Taz, I want you to go away. Was that a win? Did he go away? I stopped talking because I want Taz to know, hey, you're on my brainwave, dude. You're doing my thing. Now he's got a question, so I'm saying, hey, Taz, the answer that you're looking for is somewhere that direction. That's a confident, curious horse. Can you see that? That doesn't mean he's not going to get cautious. Yeah. Can you see what's going on? Head down, brain on, curiosity, building confidence. Licking it. Yeah. My work is done. Let's go home. Was that the... that was so cool! We did this yesterday. He freaking sweated and ran him. He was panicky for 45 minutes. And right now in 45 seconds, he was checking it out. So, okay. All right, Taz, thank you for being bold and brave. But I want you to go over there and just own it. Nope, I'm not it. There we go. I'm going to bump him with pressure anytime his mind isn't on what I'm asking. So if his head comes up and looks out, I'm going to say, hey, Taz, back on task, dude. Focus up. He looks at me, I'm going to say, hey, I'm not it. That's not it either. Not me. Somewhere over there is your answer. Now I'm giving him mental relief time. This is his time to figure it out, to touch, to explore. His mind thinks he's going to die. So his mind has got to be there enough that he can get that mental relief and decide that he's not going to die. This is best done on super windy days. Don't be a chicken and do this on a calm day. You do it when those tarps come to life at the slightest breeze that are going to kill this horse. Right? Can you feel my pressure? Put his mind back on the thing. I mean, a little cluck. So here's brain up, right? I mean, do you see his head come up? Very cautiously. He's like, ooh! Okay, then he's kind of checked out. We've just triggered his internal fight-flight instinct because he's clearing out his intestines, not because he finished his morning coffee. He's triggered into fight-flight mode. He's concerned right now. So if he has to run for his life right now, flight mode, he doesn't have to outrun all the horses. He just has to outrun one. So if he's 15 to 25 pounds lighter, does that give him an advantage? Instinctively, yes. They're in the sympathetic nervous system. They're stressed and worried. It's not a bad thing, it's just, are we aware of it? Why does your horse poop in the horse trailer? Because they're freaking stressed. It's not a bad thing, it's just, let's be aware of it. Let's know that. Instead of taking it personal. Damn, you pooped in the trailer again. I just cleaned it out. Right? So if I can build his confidence and his curiosity, he'll get across these tarps. You guys probably can't see that, but his left front foot just stepped on the tarp. Yeah. I want to give him a release and let him lick and chew. I'm like, dude, that was a good thing. He's like, I know, I can tell, I feel it. I got my dopamine hit. I'm starting to feel better. So I just want him to lick and chew enough times that his mind decides that this isn't going to die. He's not going to, he can find some confidence. So it looks like he's smelling stuff, and he is, but those vibrissae, the whiskers, that's the sensory system that's really doing the exploring. He smelt all that stuff, as soon as the wind brought it. So those vibrissae being able to touch is what's going to build the curiosity further into confidence. If he can't touch it, he's not going to be able to get as confident as fast. So I see a lot of people loading their horses in the trailer and their horse goes to put their head down to touch the floor. Don't eat that. Don't get curious. Stay cautious. I want to spend 3 hours getting you in the trailer. If we take away curiosity, we're adding caution. We're going to let him lick and chew right here. So while I'm telling a story, so what's happening is he's building some new dendritic connections. Neurons that fire together, wire together. I'm trying to build the neurons firing and wiring together that say curiosity feels good. Yes, we have the same mammalian brain. We just have this superiorly advanced prefrontal cortex that we screw shit up with. So, right, I want to reward behavior. So that when he's in a similar situation, he's like, curiosity's always felt pretty good. Let me go to that. Because Mother Nature says, caution will feel a hell of a lot better. Turn and run a quarter mile and I'll reward you over there. We're just going to do it opposite. Stand here, be curious, and you'll feel good. So we're going to unwire the neurons that say fight, flight, and wire the neurons that say calm and relax. Curiosity and confidence. So that's what's happening. We're doing brain surgery right now. See me giving him release, giving him time to find mental relief, wait for him to do what? Yeah. Well, he's got his head up, he's cautious. There, watch those soft ears. When those ears kind of lay back, that's his brain being way more relaxed. Because right now he's thinking about something over there. So if I want him to relax, yeah, go back to the thing. I might bump him. There we go. One little bump. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to what I'm doing. Put your head down. Go back to being curious. Here comes pressure. Yep, I'll leave if you'll get curious. Nope, you got to be curious, and I'll leave. Yep, I'll leave if you'll be curious. See, that's kind of Taz's old default answer to just stiffly put his head up. Do you see how he does that? That's his old behavior. That's what we want to change. Because that behavior is tolerating, waiting for things to get better. We make them better. We don't wait for them to get better. We got to do something for things to get better. So I need him to be curious to feel better, not wait it out. So the more times I can just change those neurons, change those dendritic connections, I'm trying to unwire that, so to speak, and get him going. Curiosity is the way to go. So Taz is just bouncing back and forth between his old beliefs and some new ones that we just got started. Can you see how he's doing that? We want him a lot more head down, brain on, instead of head up, brain off. So we're just trying to balance that out. So we set this up yesterday. I'll let him have a moment here. 45 minutes is probably a stretch. I'll go 25. He was pretty panicky. That's fair. That's fair. 25 minutes. Tried to jump the fence 3 times. And today in, are we at 15 minutes? So 15 minutes, we're standing on the tarp, engaged, curious, mostly relaxed. It's a hell of a big change.
But it was almost an hour to get him to stand on the tarp yesterday.
Yeah. He didn't get on the tarp until closer to the 2 hour. Yeah, he would walk on it, but we couldn't get him to stand on it until at the 2 hour mark or maybe a little more. We sat and played this game, trying to break apart those old beliefs. Get that out. Try something new. And then let him reward himself for something new. Because what does our human mind say about this stuff on the ground and this horse? What might have been an old answer that we could have come up with? Anybody? If we were like, Taz, I want you to get over tarps. What might have been an approach that we could have used? Yeah? Yep, like overstimulating, like a whole bunch. Because our mindset might be, hey, Taz, if you just feel this or you just experience it, you'll see that you're okay. Because that's how our human mind works. His mind thinks he's going to die. He probably just needed a longer break. I think you're on the right course, but if we're not waiting for him to down-regulate and get that dopamine and serotonin down, relaxing, he might stop doing the thing and just hold there, and we're like, okay, great, he stopped moving. And then what is our Western horsemanship, natural horsemanship? We got to do the other side. So we finish here, we pause for 1.2 seconds, go do the other side. So now our horse is all mentally freaked and stressed about this, and then we come over and do it times 10. And then we go back over here. We're just breaking, we're doing the same thing, we're just allowing the mental relief, the chemical change to happen. That's where learning happens. Learning happens in the change. Not on the way up, starts on the way down, but how long are they in that change of behavior? So the longer I can get him engaged, the more he'll learn. Yes, teach. Absolutely, because if he can come up on something on the trail and see it and go, whew, what's that? And then want to be curious, instead of seeing it and go, I think we should leave. We just want to break that thought apart, that behavior, and do something different. All right, Taz. All right. Story time is good. The more Mark and I tell stories, the more we notice the horse licks and chews, because I'm not over here doing my thing. It's like stop and tell a story. Mark, tell me a story right now, right? If I can see Mark struggling with something, I'm like, tell me a story. Guarantee it'll help. I don't like food as a reward because I always have to have food to reward. Having stuff in here would be great because it would foster some curiosity. And I love doing that. A lot of times this round pen looks like a freaking yard sale. Yeah. And so they'll be distracted by all of that, but they'll pick what's the most important thing to worry about. And it'll be me most likely, because I'm the one in here asking them to do some stuff. It would help, but what's even more than that is if I can talk him into it. Me and him in a relationship. Because he can do it on his own. Having stuff in here is no different than a freaking fence. You put a Mustang in a pen, they're like, what? They're going to go check the fence out, but that doesn't make them calm. So we can have a bunch of stuff in here, they would check it out, and that would foster some curiosity. But if we can't do it in a partnership, through communication, it just doesn't have the same value. You guys have, we've got tools. Pressure, release, and seek mental relief. If he just does it all by himself in here, we get out on the trail, he has no relationship value to look to me for leadership. All I've ever done is say, go, 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 go. We've never worked through some problems. So working through it together is 1,000 times more than hanging tarps all over his pen to get him unafraid of tarps. That's great for him and his pen, but now I'm out on a trail ride and a plastic sack blows by. We don't have a relationship to deal with that. Yeah, so if I can get the relationship, bring on, man. Come land a helicopter out there. Me and Taz will own it because we have a relationship. You don't know what you have until you have it under pressure. So having stuff in a round pen on your horse isn't, you have that under pressure. Take all of that, put it out on a trail ride, get in the saddle and risk your life and go right into that. Then you'll find out what you really have. Relationship. Does that make, and that's what we're building here with Taz. So I'm going to kind of be like, all right, Taz, we just went out of kindergarten. We're going to go to first grade. Now I want to get his attention. And, ooh! Hey, Taz, stay with me, buddy. Let's just give him a little mental relief if I can keep him focused. He has no idea. And it means, I get that it's been taught and it's been said and we take that as an offensive or a disrespectful gesture. I can teach him to turn any which way I want. It can. So for sure, turning away from you says caution. Turning to you says curious. Now, all of our stuff yesterday, we turned him away. Because I don't want him to turn and face me in panic mode and then run this way to try to get away from our pressure. We turn them into the fence and they're lined back up to go deal with the problem again. So that was him just going, oh, hey, I remember this. I'm going to turn back and then, oh, darn, there's the problem. But if he comes off the fence and turns to me, now he's looking for an escape. How do I get around this pressure? So, how nice is that? Did we see what he just did? It's not by accident. He wants to be safe. He has questions, so he's trying to go answer them. I can just help him out and say, Taz, you bet you'll feel better if you'll go touch that stuff. And if I can get it in Taz's mind that it's okay to be under pressure, you are going to get relief. When Taz can believe that and know that, okay, I'm under pressure, there's an answer somewhere. And he can seek it out. That's when horses learn, when they seek things out. Not when they're forced and told where the answer is. Like I could yahoo him back and forth across this tarp for 37 minutes, and he will learn nothing. But if I spend 37 times getting him to investigate, be curious, step on it, and walk across it, learned a million more times than panicking going across it. And then I want to wait. Oh, watch those ears. See how they just lay back soft? That's his brain just saying, wait a minute, I want to figure this out. I want to come down. So we'll just watch. And those ears, I want him to get laying back and just be soft and relaxed. Just going to ask him to pay attention to me. Let's go back and take another look at the problem. But I want him to lick and chew. Because was that stressful going across there? So I can either leave all that stress in or let him get it out. Whatever I want to get on later. Do I want to get on a stressed out 10th horse? Do I want to get on one that's pretty doped up? I'm pretty determined to get that. I'm watching that licking and chewing. If that's not happening, we're not there yet. The other ones are all signs and markers and cues that we're headed that direction. But until licking and chewing, we haven't transitioned. Do you know why they lick and chew? Did we talk about that? So, all of us, what do you got? Talk to me. So what does it mean when the digestive system is turned off? Yep, we're stressed. We're in the sympathetic fight-flight mode. When our stomach is turned on, we're in what mode? Rest, relax, and digest. We're in the parasympathetic nervous system. Here's what I tell myself to get this. Para meaning parachute, meaning coming down. So parasympathetic is down. Sympathetic is fight-flight. So yeah, the salivatory glands get turned on when his internal autonomic nervous system transitions to parasympathetic. The salivatory glands get turned on because we're going to rest and relax and digest. Going to lick and chew. It stimulates the licking and chewing. So Ross was right on. Yeah. All right, Taz. Let's just do this like a rock star. I'm going to put him under some pressure. Man, that was cool. But how prancy was he when he went across? Pretty prancy. Started calm, transitioned into sympathetic. So we're just going to go on this little roller coaster ride. Sympathetic, parasympathetic, sympathetic, parasympathetic. When we can do that and manage ourselves and not come apart, that's called self-regulation. We all do, yeah. Woo, how about that? 2/3 of it, pretty relaxed. 1/3 of it, I think I should just get out of here. There's one little... Watch how he's carrying his head, because that's what I want his head down, engaged. So we'll just keep bumping him here, little bits of pressure. And the more he can do this, the more dendritic connections he's building. The more neurons are firing and wiring together that say rest, relax, and be curious. That's where safety is. But he's got to have this time for that to all happen. If I just push him across the tarp at a trot, it is not happening. So when I see curious behavior, I'm releasing. Cautious behavior, I'm saying, go to work. Go get curious. Can you see the connection he and I are having? Yeah. This is going to mean something to him when we're saddling, when we're doing stuff. What's my timing? Can I read his... Do I give him relief when he needs it? Am I aware of it? If he can't connect with me, good hell, he'll be scared to death. Like our conversation earlier, Ross, I just met you at Walmart and it's all up in your space. Right? And then we're gonna go hang out for the day. And I'm just gonna be in your space and never give you any relief. Then at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, freaking get out of here. Yeah. Yeah. That Tyvek sent him into bonkers land. So the fact that he's engaging and giving this a try and being curious is massively different behavior in a 2-hour session. Because the whole 2 hours was learning. Well, the first 25 minutes weren't. And this is why lunging, Greg, doesn't work, to take the edge off. Because they never learn how to downregulate. See how I can talk him out of that? Do I want to be able to do that in the saddle? Heck yeah. Do I want him looking for it? When shit hits the fan, do I want him saying, what do I do, boss? Yeah. I mean, he wasn't with me the whole time, but he didn't go over the fence. Do you know why that fence rail's bent right there? Yeah, 3 times. He didn't go over it, but that panic yesterday would have sent him up and out. The panic today, whoa, ha! And I just corrected him a couple of times. He's like, okay, what? Okay, the answer's here. Okay, I get it, but damn, I'm scared. But if he can seek it out and find it and relax, the next time panic hits, he'll be like, where is it? Where's the answer for safety? And if I'm in the saddle, I'll be like, maybe it's over here. Maybe it's right here. Maybe it's just relaxing. But if he's not looking for it, then his mind is spun and gone, then that's when we have to just hang on. I need to tell way more stories. Okay, a couple of questions because we're going to let him just settle. Anybody?
So you're talking about his touch with his whiskers.
Yep. Okay. All right. Right. All right. So the question is, what about shaving those whiskers off of the horse's face? So, you're welcome to do that. Just know you're going to rob your horse of an immense amount of curiosity because they can't feel anything. So their confidence is going to go down and their caution is going to go up. Yep, yep, for sure. And it's very popular in the show world. Doesn't mean it's the right thing for the horse. It might get you a blue ribbon. They're not right. So those whiskers, those vibrissae, every single one of them has its own independent blood supply. Mother Nature sent its own blood supply there for why? So we can cut it off? Because it needs to stay alive. It's a living part of the horse. Every one of those whiskers and hairs coming out has feeler cells in them. Because the horse needs to know, is this hot, cold, rough, smooth, prickly, pokey, squishy, spongy, hard, soft, all those things. It's the only way the horse can tell things. So if we want our horse to walk around unfeeling and disconnected from everything it's an environment, the quickest way to do that would be to shave those off. It's just science. I'm not judging either way. It's just science. Well, me and the horse would hope not. But it's up to you. Yep. Yep. That's what he's touching all this stuff with. So if we take that away, now Taz is engaged with this stuff that he thinks will kill him, and he has no way of proving otherwise. So what chemicals am I going to send into his brain if I send him into something and tell him, you can't touch anything? What chemicals are going to go there? Nope. Cortisol. stress and worry. So I'm going to send my horse into something and my horse is going to go, man, I can't tell if any of this is alive or dead, rough or smooth. I have no idea of knowing what any of this is. I don't know if I'm going to fall through it. I don't know if it's going to attack me. I don't know anything. And you want me to do it calmly? Probably not going to happen. Unless that horse has just been really conditioned to that over years and years, which then it's absolutely possible. There's great calm horses out there with no vibrissae. But I'm betting it took a lot of brain off type engagement. The horse just had to turn things off and say, I'm a mind numb robot. I don't get to experience or investigate anything. Well, I'm not saying it can't work, and because it's just that's the science of why those are there. That's all I'm saying. With knowledge comes power. Well, when Dr. Peters told my wife that her little baby pony couldn't love her, she cried and left the room. She freaking didn't like him for a long time. She was pissed. And he's like, it's just science. The brain matter where love lives, the spot in our brains where love lives, is not in this brain. You bet. You bet. And that's, if you just flip that switch in your mind, you can still call it love, but just in reality, no, it's just safety. Because if this guy bucks you off or drags you through a tree and hurts you or does anything, he's going to jog off and lick and chew and go eat some grass. He's not going to, doesn't matter. He's not going to check on you. I mean, he might come back and be like, what's up? Yeah, you're still going to feed me, right? Yeah. It is, and I sensed that, but I didn't see it. So I think what Mark's saying is he's self-regulated. Oh, something happened? So if he's reacting off of your sight, right, there's still a fair amount of stress and worry going on because his brain works off of sight, sound, and touch. Yeah. And if he's very cautious, which head up, he's still holding that tension. Right? This is kind of his go-to default. We don't want to leave him here. I want him engaged so that he'll feel more comfortable engaging to get more comfortable. All right, Taz, I'm going to tell less stories and try to get you to do a little more brain work. Yes, you're safe. Yes, you're safe. Yes. Now I'm just going to give him a little brain work. We're just going to softly go back and forth. And let's just watch when he starts to really lick and chew after each experience. So he hasn't licked and chewed yet. So the pressure's still on. I'm just kind of seeing, can he do this under pressure? Can he do my thing and take care of himself? Right now, barely. He's engaging, but I'm wanting him to lick and chew in between. And so what I've learned with Taz is he can tolerate a pretty fair amount of pressure before he has to make a decision to relax. So I'm just kind of adding to it. Because that'll help him. He'll either hit the panic button or he's going to hit the pause button and try to kind of come down. So I'm just little bits of constant pressure here to see what he can do. Can you see how the caution holds him up on this side, but the curiosity kind of pulls him through on this side? How come that tarp's not an issue? 10 minutes ago, he damn near, he lost he had an issue. He's starting to turn things down. Like, you know what? I can only worry about so much at a time, but there it is. I'm giving him the space, meaning I'm not over pressure, and I'm just saying, go do something. Go get curious. Go work this out. So caution stopped him. Curiosity got him, and then caution come back. Can you see when the caution comes back? About the time that second foot lands, he's like, whew, that's all I got. So I'm just waiting for a change in behavior. When he can do this nice and calm, I'm going to give him a big relief, but I'm just asking him to earn it. A little bit of flight mode. He's like, I'll just get out of here. I'm just going to come right back to the same task. So I'm watching, and when he walks this way, all on his own, without that extra bump from me, will be a big deal. So look how soon he stopped. Last time he ran clear up here. This time he relaxed and slowed down right there. I rewarded that by stopping my pressure. I'm like, hey, oh, you want to rest right here close to the stuff you don't want to be by? You want to be curious about this brown thing that was going to kill you 15 minutes ago? Okay, let's do that. Let's just take a minute. But now he's kind of head up, back into tolerate mode. Let's go work. Probably. I mean, he doesn't, things being behind him or isn't part of his concern. But in a sense, I'm kind of like, you just go figure yourself out, Taz. When you can turn down your worry, the barrels will stop being an issue. But he's only licked and chewed twice, I think. I'm just keeping a steady amount of pressure because we're winning. Man, that was beautiful. And he stopped again and head down. Whoo! Yeah, tell a story. Right, so me giving that little bit of relief got that licking and chewing. And then, so I'm kind of going back and forth. Constant light pressure. Okay, here's a bigger relief. Because the more times he can lick and chew, the more dopamine and serotonin are getting on board, the more responsive he's going to be, the less reactive. Oh, see, that's new to walk up, and I paused. He was showing some curiosity. I was hoping he was going to just lead himself across. He reached out, touched the barrel, and licked and chewed. Big deal. You see how slowing down faster, we're going to get done sooner? Because this is all his idea. This is all his brain work. I'm just pushing buttons and pulling levers a little bit. Hey, what about this thing? What about that thing? And then he's doing all the evaluating. He's doing all the figuring it out. You're doing pretty good, buddy. We're going to give you a few more times. This is awesome behavior. Go back to what you're doing. Was that a great decision that he made? Kind of panicked, the stuff moved, he just stood his ground. He's like, oh man, I don't know. I think I can figure this out. There's another licking and chewing. Yep, he just kind of panicked in place, right? Hit the pause button instead of the panic button. Was that the first time he walked across without stopping first? Yes, it was. Let's just pause for a minute. He changed behavior. He still kind of trotted at the end, but I noticed it's a little something different. Let's pause a minute. Let's help that feel better. Watch those ears. That's the biggest cue that I'm paying more and more attention to what is the brain on. If his ears are up and out, his brain is up and out. If his ears are laid back and down and soft, his mind is like neutral. He's like engaged with the what the hell just happened mode. So I lost his attention. Get it back. Ears get soft. I'm hoping. I want those ears softer. So I'm going to add a little something in, and then we're going to halter him here in a minute. We'll work towards saddling. So I'm going to do some approach, contact, and retreat now because I want him, I want to build that too. Because before I've been approaching with pressure with my audible cue. What was my audible cue? That he needed to do something. That means move your feet. So if I walk up without that sound, and I want to feel my energy different, my presentation's different. So if I'm walking up to you, Dusty, and I want you to get out of that chair, be like, get out of that chair. Get up and move. Get up and move. You better be moving. You're still not moving. Can you feel my pressure?
Yeah.
All right. Let's rewind that. And if I want to just come up and say hi, I'm like, hey, Dusty. Can you feel how that's different? My shoulders, my feet, everything about my approach is softer, unintentional. But if I need you to move, my shoulders are up. I've got, it's pressure. So I can put pressure on the horse just by going, hey, don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. Okay. Mark learned a great lesson on how much weight he puts on what foot. Just to get his attention, the other day Mark was playing around with it a little bit and I was watching. So he just left. If I just lean, he's not with me enough. But more weight on this foot says I'm coming in. More weight on my right heel says I'm not coming in. I'm coming in, I'm not. He can see that. They are. The question is, are we? Because he thinks his life depends on it, so he's reading every ounce of everything. So look how engaged he is. Because he wants to know, what the hell is this? Now I could keep going in there and push him out of curiosity into caution, and we'll go to crazy. Or I can recognize his curiosity, slow it down and allow him to be curious, and then we can get confident. Up to me. It's just science. How we handle our horses reflects how they handle the situation. So here's this part of our meditation, those hands on. You notice right when I touched him, where did his head go? He's like, dude, I so want to relax. Because we've taught him hands on means you're safe, relax. Took a while, still not 100%, But if that can trigger him out of caution mode and get him more into relax mode, I need both hands, but so there's our curiosity, those vibrissae that he needs to answer the question of safety. So I can just keep asking him to go get curious. Yep, I lost him. Took a long time for him to buy into this because his previous programming was tolerate. Head up, tolerate, brain off, don't engage, no curiosity. I'm just going to wait. And that worked. But we're under a whole different level of pressure now because we're going to put our life on the line in the saddle. So he's still trying. He hasn't licked and chewed with me in here. So I'm, my mind's taking notes of that. I'm like, man, if I can hang out here and he can do this till he can lick and chew, oh, big learning moment. Because it's not about the mechanical behavior of just relaxing his head and neck. That's the start. But we got to get the chemical change, which is the licking and chewing, the dopamine and the serotonin. So I'm just kind of coaching him. So he's getting a little irritated because he's just about to relax a lot. But Mother Nature says, no, don't. So I'm going to stay a little longer and ask him to just relax and focus a little more. And I got this scary piece of Tyvek that yesterday sent him over, trying to go over the fence. Now he's touched it and all kinds of stuff. It's not a threat. Yeah. So this is, this serotonin wash coming in, those chemicals changing. Look how soft his ears are. He's not alerting to stuff. He's like in Zen mode going, wow, this feels peaceful. And then I want the chemicals to come in and reinforce it and wire those neurons together. Right now he's doing a test drive. Am I really safe? Feels like I am. I just want the chemicals to prove it. So he's even going more curiosity. He's trying to find that confidence. His mind wants to go out there for caution to find the answer. And I'm saying it's in here. It's in curiosity. It's in relaxing. We're waiting for the chemical change. So this is a great tool when you unload at the rodeo arena and you're going to go do whatever. First thing out of the trailer. Hey, let's sync up. Let's relax. You don't need to worry about all this stuff. I got it. I'm looking. We're safe. Let's hang out until you believe it. And then take and go lead him off to go wherever. And then go do it over there. And then go do it in the arena. Then do it back by the buck and shoots. Then go out by somebody else's horse trailer. Then go find the kid riding this bike with the squeaky chain. Go do it over by him. Instead of, would you stop riding that bike? You're causing my horse to worry. Nope, go over there and relax. It's not about the bike or the kid or the windy flag. Can we get to this? And I might have to back out to get him to lick and chew. I love how long he's staying here because this has been his struggle, is to stay here mentally. I'm hearing his breathing. It's getting a little deeper. I'm hearing a little, bigger, deeper breaths. Parasympathetic. Short, shallow breaths, sympathetic. We're just barely getting him introduced to, wanting to hang out with us to relax. I mean, he tracked with me for, a little ways. And then he's like, boy, I don't know. You got that dang scary thing on your legs. Oh, boy. Ooh, big breath. Did you hear that? Did you see Mama? She's like, did you see me? He's doing so good. Three days ago, that flapping around, kick, fart, complete, I'm out of here. Now the curiosity, he's been rewarded so much for curiosity, he's like, let me just be curious because I've always felt better. So I'm going to give him a little bigger space, but I'm going to ask for 100% attention so that he can really, I want to just really let him come down. So I can tell he's looking past me because his ears are doing what? Yeah, his ears are past me, so his eyes are past me. If his ears are back and soft, head down, but I got to keep his attention. There. That's, to me, that's the beautiful sight. Mind relaxing, sleepy eyes, soft muzzle, soft eyes. I just want his head to be a lot lower. He's still in that tolerating, but we're not where we were. But that's what I'm going for, is when he can have his head clear down there the whole time, then that's going to be great. See, there's 3-4 times just because I'm asking for attention, so he just keeps letting a little bit more go and a little bit more go. So much so it looks like, yeah. I mean, I'm drugging this horse. Look at his eyes. I mean, he's like, oh my gosh. Huge difference for me to approach and him to come down and engage instead of up and out. Big behavior. I mean, that's what we're working off of, is behavior. If his first behavior he feels under pressure is to calm down and investigate, way better than up and let's go. I mean, that was fantastic. Let's try it again. All right, as I come walking up, does he go down? So now he's with me. There he's going, but he's not going out. Watch how this head cue, my hands on his head, can help him, because right now he's... So can I help him just relax with me doing some other stuff? All right, good boy. We'll take a little break and I'll get my tack and stuff. And what did you see? What did Taz teach you?
That they're trying to tell us when they're being curious versus scared.
Right, they're communicating where they're at in their nervous system. If we, right, slow down to see it? Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big takeaway for me, was to see those signs from the horse.
I mean, he was talking and saying a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
just, that was an intense conversation for, I don't know, where have we been, an hour-ish? An hour?
You see, that's where they want to be.
If they can be. Yeah, they want to be relaxed, but the environment dictates all of that.
Yeah,
and
that's what he's doing. They don't know how. They're used to running.
Mother Nature will say,
He wants to rewire that.
Mother Nature will say, stay stressed because you'll live longer. Right, so we can create very stressed chronic horses in our corrals that'll be clear full of cortisol and cancer and tumors and what's the no stress ulcers. Ulcers aren't natural; they come from stress and worry. So for him to totally relax, depending on the environment, maybe he can, maybe he can't. But if he can't, in our relationship, we got to help show them how to do that under pressure so that they can get there on their own, because Mother Nature says, don't relax if you're stressed. Why would that make sense, to relax if you're stressed from Mother Nature? It's live or die by an instant. We don't evaluate or think or rationalize anything. You either fight or flight or die. So if you're stressed and worried, Mother Nature will say, you stay that way. We need to help show them, okay, dude, this is how you can relax. Let's get that stress out. And then they're not near as stressful. So those last couple of times when I walked up to him with that thing on, couldn't do that. 3-4 sessions ago. We even took that off the fence and he was like, ding, hitting the panic bell. He wasn't doing like super crazy things, but mentally he was doing super crazy things.
So, it's not recommended to exercise your horse with a plastic bag flopping around.
Oh,
Okay.
neighbor.
Neighbor does that.
Unless you can control the release,
There's no control.
then it's not going to teach what you think it's going to teach.
Is she trying to get him used to it?
Yeah,
Or is she
he's
trying
running.
to make him go?
He's going all right.
It's
Because he doesn't take much. He's slower on his own. So I don't
it's a tough thing, and I've done it that way a few times, and I've paid some big prices. I don't dig it. I've done it. I've done it. My mindset was, get over it, you freaking idiot. It's a tarp. You're not going to die. Here, let me show you. I'm going to tie this on the saddle horn. Okay, let's go until you're done freaking out.
Yeah.
Boom. Cortisol. That can create a PTSD, like a snapshot moment. That horse could be so panicked and so stressed and scared and fearful that it's like snapping pictures in its mind going, don't ever let this happen again. Don't ever, 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 ever. And then 9 months later, some of those pictures start to line up in the horse's mind. And the horse is like, oh, don't ever let this happen. Because last time it was super traumatic. So if we can't control the release, because let's say it's tied onto the horse and the horse is freaking out, and then the horse for just 3 seconds goes, oh my gosh. And then there's no release.
Yeah, it's still there.
So then the horse goes, well, I relaxed, nothing changed, going back to Mother Nature. Fight, flight. Yeah, I'm going to grab, let's see how saddling goes. I mean, he feels, to me, really right where we left him off end of yesterday's session. Well, he's like a million times different starting. We ended yesterday about this same place.
Okay.
We just didn't start like this yesterday. Does that make sense? So Taz is telling me, hey dude, I'm very capable of learning new things. Yesterday I wanted to kill myself. Today I'm